Hey y'all, it's Jamie Deen here today, and I got Mama with me. She's on the back of a spoon. They needed somebody to do chili, so who else are you gonna call but me? I've got the award-winning chili recipe.
Chili buster.
It's from my book, Good Food. This has been out for a good long while. Chili's one of those things, y'all, that I love to make, and there really are no rules. I'm gonna show you a set recipe today, and then maybe 3 or 4 times in this recipe, I'm gonna give you some options of things that you can do. It's very simple. It takes a little bit of time, but most good things in life do take time. This is chilly weather. This is the time of the year. We're still in the 50s here in Savannah, and a big bowl of warm chili for dinner is really the way to go. So all you need is a big pot. We've got a couple of pounds of ground beef that we're gonna start with. We've got some vegetables. We've got a couple cans of tomatoes and some beans. So something about like this. This is maybe an 8 or a 9 quart countertop stove, and I've got 2 tablespoons of olive oil in there. That oil is gonna be hot because I've started that before we got going here today. And y'all look, if this was my house, that would be Vidalia onions. This is not my house. Those are purple onions. And we've got red and green bell peppers. If it were my house, there would be no green bell peppers. And we've got some celery. And if it were my house, there would be celery tops in here because you know that I love the leafy parts of the celery. Never throw that away. The little bitty tiny tops, you can trim those off where they brown, but there's so much flavor in those leaves, and it gives you texture and bonus flavor whenever you use the leaves from the celery. It's really pretty and it cooks down anyway, so y'all don't throw those away. Our oil's hot, so I'm going in with our veg first. We've got onions. We're gonna do our peppers. I'll give you measurements in 1 second. And then we've got celery. One of the secrets for me and the chili that I've made is I season every layer. Rather than seasoning it one time in the recipe, I like to season my vegetables and then I'll season my protein, whether it's sausage or if I'm gonna be doing a chicken chili or like we're doing today, which is just a regular beef chili. I season the vegetables, I season the meat, I season the beans, I season the tomatoes, and then everything's got that really good flavor coming out at one time. We're gonna season these down for about 2 minutes. A little bit more than a sweat, but we're not really gonna brown them all. We wanna break it down just enough to where it's tender because these are gonna cook for an additional 2 hours. So what we're doing here right now is marrying all the flavors together. We're cooking them, we're introducing them, we're heating them up, everything's getting good. I'm gonna go a little bit of salt. I'm gonna add a pinch of pepper and a little bit of garlic powder to my vegetables, okay? We're gonna cook these down for about 2 minutes and then we're gonna invite garlic to the party. I've had people come and see me at the restaurant and say, I used your chili recipe. I won a contest. I'm not a braggadocious type person. I am a good cook. I'm not a great cook. I'm certainly not a chef. But I love stews and soups and chilies because you can do anything that you want in those. We have 2 beans here today on the table. I'm not opposed to 5 beans. I love black beans and chili. Color and texture, you eat with your eyes first. That's what my mama's always told me. So today the recipe that I'm gonna share with you, if you wanna do nothing but red beans, right on, whatever you wanna do. You wanna put black beans in, any kind of beans that you like. I love a 2 or 3 meat chili and a 4 or 5 bean chili. This is a busy house around here. Somebody's calling my mom. I wonder who that is.
Y'all excuse me. I'll be right back with y'all.
Okay, y'all, we've got about 2 minutes going on that. So we're gonna add our garlic. And while this is cooking down, if you're taking notes at the house, you know, Eddie or Teresa or somebody is gonna post this for you. But let's see what we started with here. I got 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I have a large red onion. Now you say, you said you like yellow onion. Why does it say red onion in your cookbook? I'm not in charge of everything. 2 medium bell peppers, a green and a red. 2 stalks of celery. We got those diced up, and we have 5 cloves of garlic. So that's where we are right now. So we're starting with all of our vegetables. This is the base flavor for everything that we're doing. I like celery because it really adds a distinct flavor and it's different. Not everybody does that. It's the start of spaghetti sauce, and I thought one day, well, why wouldn't it be the start of chili? I love it. It's just a complex flavor that's in there that people can't quite put their finger on. And I just like kind of doing things the way that I like to do them. You know, Mom says cook the recipe the first time the way that it's exactly written out, and then after that you can do anything you want. And I really take great liberty with that. I love changing recipes up to fit the flavors that my family and that I love. Or there may be some other things like green bell peppers. Green bell peppers taste more like a pepper, and this, I love the sweet peppers, yellow, orange, red. You know what I like to do sometimes is I'll take a bell pepper, I'll cut it in half, and I'll stuff it full of chicken salad or tuna salad, and then I'll eat it just like that, like an open-faced sandwich, but out of half of a bell pepper. That's really good. So this stuff I believe is cooked down well enough for us. Get back over here. We've got ground beef that we're using today. This is 97% lean. So what that means is that I'm not gonna have a lot of fat in here that I'm gonna have to drain off, but I'm just gonna take the time to season everything that I'm doing. Ground beef really loves a little bit of coarse salt. I'm gonna add a little bit of garlic powder. So you see what I'm doing? I season our vegetables to where it tastes good seasoned. Then I've got our meat that's seasoned, so I won't over season or under season any of it. I like to do it that way in layers. So we've got a little bit over 1.5 pounds of ground beef in there. I think it's about 1.7. Now with this spoon, I'm gonna break it up and get all this really good and browned off. I'm gonna save y'all about 4 or 5 minutes. There ain't a whole lot to this. So I'll see y'all when I get done with the boring part. All right, y'all. You see here, this looks delicious. That's browned off just enough. This is gonna cook for 2 hours, so it's not necessary really that I have this all the way hard cooked through, although this is, for the most part, pretty cooked. What we're doing here is we're introducing the meat to the trio of vegetables that we had down there, and now we're fixing to get in to really what is the chili flavor. So first, let's check our thing. We see right here, we're gonna stir in our chili powder, cumin, which I love cumin, oregano, and the cayenne pepper. I don't use a whole bunch of cayenne pepper. If y'all are taking notes, I will write this. I will tell you how much it is. 1/4 cup of chili powder, we have right here. A tablespoon of ground cumin, a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and what am I missing? Oregano, 1 tablespoon of oregano. I have glasses, Mom, thanks. So cumin, I don't know if cumin is an ingredient that everybody always puts in their chili. I've only made my chili, but cumin really tastes like chili to me, so I love it in there. So we're gonna dump all of our ingredients here. Our chili powder, our oregano, the cumin, which is this real star of the pot to me. And now here's our cayenne pepper. This is for y'all to personally decide. Do you want that much heat in your chili, or do you want more? It's up to you, more or less. You know, when I'm cooking for the kids, I really try to keep heat out of my pots. They're just not ready for it yet, and it comes up on them so strong. So it's a flavor profile that I enjoy, but I found that it's fairly simple to leave that out if I'm cooking for my family. And then I can always sprinkle a little on top or add some hot sauce if I want to spice it up a little bit. The sriracha sauce for me has really been a go-to that I love to add after I cook if I want a little bit of temperature with my food. You see how rich and brown this has gotten? My mouth is watering and I've already had lunch. So once I get all this worked in, we're gonna use another ingredient that I really love, and that's tomato paste, which is a concentration of tomato flavors. You ever wonder why these cans are so small? Because if you used a can the size of normal cans, it would be too much. Tomato paste is gonna be a big flavor boost for our tomato profile in our chili pot. We're gonna use one of these little bitty cans, and Teresa was so nice to get me this one little spatula, because that's kind of a booger to get out of there. And I'm gonna work this tomato paste into our base of vegetables and protein. I really love a 50-50 mix of sausage and ground beef and chili. And you know, down here in the South, a lot of guys enjoy spending the weekends in the woods, and they'll bring home some venison. Venison chili is really big here in the South. But I just like good old ground beef, and sometimes I'll throw some pork sausage in too. And chili with chicken and white beans is really good too. So our tomato paste is worked up in here really good. Kind of looks like a sloppy Joe, which is another one of my favorites from childhood. Okay, we got 2 cans of diced tomatoes going in here, y'all. We've got a larger can, which is just a plain diced 28 ounces. And then I'm using a fire roasted can as well. Fire roasted tomatoes adds a little bit of smoky flavor to it. You see the little bit of char down in there? It's always nice to kind of use a little bit of both, I found. I love fire roasted tomatoes in the recipe. It adds a smoky flavor that we don't have to fool with adding liquid smoke or figuring out how we want to do it. It comes right from the packing process, and it's really a delicious product. I love canned tomatoes. So we're gonna bring this up to temperature, and then we're gonna start adding our beans. We're really just about done with this recipe. I've literally put this together in about 15 minutes, and there are a team of people around me that's helped. But don't be overwhelmed by the time that it takes to make a recipe. If you want to do this in a slow cooker or a crock pot, if you can get your dinner started in the middle of the day, that really saves a lot of time and energy for you late in the day. Brooke and I with 3 boys, it seems like it's always 5 o'clock. Breakfast, and then it's lunch, and then it's dinner. So if you want to start this earlier in a slow cooker, I would really recommend that you do that. If you don't have time, if you're around the house for a couple hours though, you're just going to turn it down on low, and you can get it done just as easily. So today we're doing kidney beans, which you cannot have a chili without a red kidney bean. Look how pretty those are. This is gonna be good, y'all. And we're using pinto beans. And you see, I've already said it a lot today, but color and texture is huge for me. So you can see where a can of black beans dropped in here would really add a little bit of color to this. Also, if you want to put a can of corn in it, you know, Brunswick stew, chili, soups, it's all kind of the same thing. The deliverable is just a little bit different. So anything that you love, you can put in there. Now we're looking at this and you say, golly, you gonna cook that for 2 hours? Sure is thick. Haha. Just so happens that I have a beer. And this is a beer that I'm willing to pour into a pot of chili. So don't use your favorite beer, you can use any beer. If you want to use a light beer or American lager or a Pilsner, any of that is fine. We're actually going to cook all the alcohol out of this beer. It gives it a little bit of tang, and it adds liquid flavor rather than just tap water. If you never keep beer around the house, if you don't like to buy beer, if it's not your thing, you can put water in here. I'm using a beer because it's bonus flavor. And look, y'all, look how beautiful this pot of chili is. And it's that simple. So we're gonna turn this down on low, and I'm gonna watch this and stir it for about 2 hours. And then after everything has come together, I'm gonna get a big bowl of Fritos, and I'm gonna put the chili all over the top of those Frito chips. And I'm gonna put cheese on it and a little bit of sour cream. And we're gonna make the most delicious bowl of chili. One last thing. Right here is a good time for you to say, needs a little salt. I recommend that y'all taste every little bit of layer that you put in here so you don't get surprised at the end. So I'm gonna add a little bit of salt to this. Well, I just got some pepper. We'll end it right here with me choking. A little bit of salt, 2 hours. This is Jamie's award-winning chili. Thank y'all very much for tuning in today. And I think my next line is best dishes, y'all. Loving best dishes. Whatever. Thanks. See y'all. Hey y'all, I'm back. Mom said we had to come end it with her eating it. So here we are, ending it with her eating it.
I had to taste it so I could tell y'all how good it is. And I tell you what, it's damn good chili, Jamie.
Pretty good chili.
Not only is he pretty, he's a good cook.
So mom's put Frito chips in hers with a little bit of sour cream and some cheese. You can put it on hot dogs, you can put it on your cheeseburger, you can just put it in your mouth any way you want. So this is chili, couldn't be easier, y'all. All you need is a few simple ingredients in 2 hours.
I see how it's won awards. It's delicious.
Y'all try your own recipe whenever you get ready. Start with mine though, it's good. Thanks y'all.
Hey y'all, it's Paula Deen. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to be alerted when I post a video. Love and best dishes, y'all.